Hello everyone, and welcome to what is the finale of these many live commentaries for E3 2015. This is it, guys. There's nothing else after this. At least for commentaries anyway. Coming up next in just a few minutes is the AMD PC Gaming Show. And this is it. This is the last conference for E3. After this, there is nothing else left. And for people at home like me, that's pretty much the end of E3. There's really nothing else to cover, nothing else to really... I mean, there may be the occasional screenshots and maybe the occasional trailer, but other than that, it's going to be essentially it's going to be a pretty quiet conference this year. Gonna go out with a whimper. If you guys haven't already noticed, Tweetdeck has calmed down. I've been looking, I haven't had to refresh it once, and it's still displaying things normally, so I think for the first time in days, Tweetdeck is actually going to be reliable here. Of course, mind you, this doesn't mean that things are going to suddenly pick up, but from the way things are looking, it seems to me like it's on a happy ending for Tweetdeck. Things finally calming down, and you know, nothing else really. All the main conferences have concluded, and oh boy, what a past few days it's been. I'm gonna be doing the post E3 video. I'm gonna be recording it tomorrow, which is Wednesday as of this recording. You know, tomorrow will be Wednesday as this recording, so by the time you guys see this, it'll be Friday. It's Friday, so hi. But yes, guys, we've seen the lows, we've seen the highs, we've seen the strange, we've seen the ugly, we've seen the absolutely emotional, we've seen everything. Like, it's been a crazy E3, and this is where it's all going to come to an end, this conference right here. At least for me, anyway. I can't really vouch for the people who are on the show floor. Pretty sure that they are actually going to be, pretty sure they're going to be just fine. They still have 2 days of E3, but for people like me who are just at home, I mean, other than the occasional articles I'm going to have to write, yeah, I definitely, honestly think that, E3 is going to be pretty much done with. Now, here's the thing, though. The PC Gamer Show is actually going to be going for 2 hours. So, it's going to be just as long as Sony and Microsoft's are. Potentially even longer. So, although this is going to be the last conference, this is also going to be, perhaps, the, most awkward one. Like, the most long one. However... The interesting thing about the pre-show they've been doing for the past hour now on the PC Gamer Show stream, they've been doing a lot of, like, they've been doing trivia and stuff in the, like, the pre-show, like, the pre-stream and all, which has been pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's been pretty cool. But, indeed, the PC Gaming Show starts up any second now. And as I said, this is going to be... That's it. You know, this is the last conference. Nothing else to really talk about. I don't even know... There's quite a few games that are supposed to be lined up. Possibly in attendance. None that are really definitively showing. Suddenly Giant Countdown. Closing in. Not to mention... apparently there's going to be 28 people speaking at E3. 28 people speaking on the stage at this conference, that is. So this is going to be a doozy. As I said, though, unfortunately, this is the last one, so here's hoping we end off on a good note, you know? I know you guys may be tired of all the E3 live commentaries, but this is the last of it, so here we go, guys. Just waiting for them to go up. Music's fading out. 5 seconds. Starting to see the buffering beginning. Here we go. So I'd say it was around on time. Around that. So what is this all about? By the way, if you're curious on what I'm watching this on, the only place you can watch the PC Gaming Show is on Twitch. Even if you go to the PC Gaming Show's website, it's got a hyperlink to the Twitch. So, unfortunately, there isn't much of a... there isn't really any other places you can go. Also, I have no idea what this intro is all about. All I know is that I'm refreshing the quality to make it mobile, so to cut down on any buffering, because I'm getting some of that again. It also seems like Tweetdeck has started picking up again. It seems Tweetdeck has started picking up. Not as much as it has been previously, but it's sure as hell... It sure as hell seems to be active again. This is strange music, by the way. People are already calling it the best conference, and they're only showing the intro. People really are premature with declaring this stuff, aren't they? I mean, I know during the Sony conference I was like, yeah, they pretty much won. That's because just there was no way that anyone else could really compare, you know? I had a feeling Nintendo wasn't going to be able to come back from it, and it turns out they didn't. So, it wasn't really based on the fact that I was more so... It wasn't really based on the fact that I was, being premature myself. It was more so knowing what Nintendo is like and what they have in store. I didn't think they were going to make a, I didn't think they were going to be able to come back from that. Unfortunately, though, it seems to me like Tweetdeck is beginning to get screwy again. Unfortunately. Oh jeez, already, this is weird. Well then. It seems like they're treating this like not so much as a conference, but more so as a like a talk show thing. Is this what? Jeez. Yeah, this is not like your usual things. They definitely put the emphasis on gaming show. Boy, this just when I think E3 couldn't get any weirder, it does. What is going on? Let's take a look at what is to come. So it should be clarified that there are supposedly going to be new games announced at this, which is part of the reason why people are tuning in, but yeah. This is a strange trailer though. I honestly don't know, like I think I do I think I have the original Killing Floor, but I don't have Killing Floor 2. Sheesh. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm completely and utterly divided on whether this is good or not. It's one thing for sure, this is not something I would expect. You know, for having 28 developers, they're gonna go for a good while here, aren't they? Like, they're not gonna spend like maybe 2 minutes talking with the developer, move on. They're going to have long interviews, aren't they? Yeah, it looks like there's going to be some long. Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of talking. Even more so than Square Enix, I think. Oh. World exclusive, so this is new. What is this? Actually, what is this? What is this? Wait, are the people saying it's Killing Floor 3? Even though Killing Floor 2 isn't even finished yet? I don't understand. What is this? It's nothing special. It's the same old military shooting thing. But Rising Storm 2. Oh. Had a full boyfriend, of course. Oh. Apparently there's still weather happening over here. That's kind of awkward, but it's been like before I went, like I started recording, there was some interesting stuff that happened, but in terms of the wow. Wait, so there's another trailer here. From so it's from Star Citizen then. Okay. Oh, so they're talking like, so they're doing the demo. Well, no, they're talking. So the guy they're talking to couldn't actually be there, so he recorded a video of stuff and actually just going on about it that way, right? Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen that before. Like usually, like everyone's usually on stage, but in this case they actually decided, you know what? I can't be there, so I'm like he said everyone wanted to join and said yes, so apparently no matter where they are, they're gonna do a video and talk about stuff. So I've never actually is this a new game or an old game? I mean I guess we're about to find out. Interesting that Tweetdeck's kind of loosened up again. So let me check to see what's going on here real quick, 'cause I'm getting. Oh, that. Oh, that. I think I don't have to worry about that. Although I still need to check something else real quick. Okay. Whoop. Well, my browser's just having a fun time constantly doing that lately. Oh my god, really, browser? Stop moving stuff without me telling you to. There we go. So what is this coming? What is this all about? Oh, so Star Citizen is actually the game that the team's notable for working on. Okay, I thought that was actually the developer name of the developers in the company. What? Eh, happens. So they're talking about tech stuff right now. Probably the first tech stuff we've really heard from anyone since Microsoft, honestly. Like, the only people that really talked about anything technical was Microsoft this year. And it was mostly in the reins of a new controller and backwards compatibility, and not much else. So they're talking about Oculus for a bit there. Not really about their VR stuff, but more so related to their graphics card stuff. Again, it should be noted, this is perhaps the most technical conference we've had so far. I mean, honestly, no one else has gone this technical, and only one that came close was Microsoft, really. Oh, they're still talking about what power it would take to get VR, have reasonable VR, or whatever. I don't know, reliable. Is that what he's talking about? I thought he was talking about the just graphics card stuff. I don't know. I have no idea. It should be noted it's already been 20 minutes, and they've only really spoken with 3 people. That's it. Just 3 people. They made a note of Twitch. That's brilliant. Yeah, give us Hoop God. Can Hoop God make an appearance too? At this rate, may as well. So wait, they're showing that. So he's gonna see the suitcase after the show. So why did you even have the suitcase on there if you're not gonna show it? Like, it was just there to be there. Okay. Deus. Okay, so that's how you say it. Deus Ex. Wait, why are they here? Didn't we already get enough Deus Ex at the freaking Square Enix conference? Why is Deus Ex here again? Like, why are we seeing more of this? And why did... Every conference has had filler of some kind. There... Like, why again are you bothering? Like, this has been the constant problem with so many of these conferences. Like, it gets so damn tiring that you see the same game in multiple conferences. Like, every conference has had this issue except Nintendo's. Nintendo is the only one who didn't have that problem. But all the other conferences, every one of them have had at least one game that popped up in another conference. In more than one conference. Like Deus Ex Mankind Divided. We already heard this just earlier today. We just heard this. We know about this. What is there left? They went for a good 15 minutes too talking about this. Around that. And then we're hearing, like, even more about it. It's like, come on, guys. Like, there's only so much you can talk about one game. There's no need to do this in 2 conferences and drag things out more. It's more stupid filler. So many cucumbers. What were the... Not sure if dick joke or not. Yeah, what that guy just said now, repetition of content. This has been the main problem with E3. It's like the majority of the conferences. Although we've had so many bombshells and so many good announcements, we've also had so much filler and repetition with a lot of these games. Like Microsoft had this problem. EA's had this problem like every year with constantly showing the same shit every year. You know, Ubisoft has had this problem with the Assassin's Creed and Tom Clancy. You know, and then you have Sony. Even Sony, despite how great them having the best conference, even they had games that showed up in Square Enix's conference. Apologies for bumping the mic there, but even they had games there, like the Final Fantasy games. As amazing as that announcement was, I honestly feel like it should have been really in Square Enix's conference. You know, you had Hitman. That was also by Square Enix. They should have just held all that until Square Enix's conference. Now we get into Square Enix's conference, and not only have we already, we know the majority of these games, but we've already seen them earlier on in E3. Like there's nothing new here showing. And you would have had something new to show if you just held off until your own conference. And I do apologize if this rant has been getting old with every conference, but it's really saying a lot how this constantly pops up as a problem with every conference. Even the PC gaming show, which is not even really related to console gaming. It's got so many different games compared to consoles. And even then, like most of the PC games, you might see one console platform, minimum. But they're mostly like that. But the thing for me is like, the thing for me is like, even then, we're seeing yet another game that we've already seen in a previous conference. And it's like, the more things pass, it seems like Square Enix just didn't, like Square Enix was no doubt the worst with this repetition issue. Like almost every game they showed off in that conference was in another conference in some way. And it's pathetic. Like, Square Enix should not have... Like, now they actually show off Deus Ex gameplay, too. Why didn't you show that off in Square Enix's conference? People wanted to see that. Instead, he wasted time. Like, Square Enix definitely had among the worst, I think, of the conferences. But, finally, they're moving on to the next game. Finally, I'm hoping I can put away with this rant for once and for all. The repetition really has become an issue with E3. I'm sure I'm not really helping it, but just saying. Half-Life 3 game needs to hold it. Yep, it was only a matter of time. Total War. Alright, this is where I get interested. This is Sega. This is where I get interested. We have not seen this game yet anywhere. And this is actually the first time Sega has showed up in a conference like this in a long time. Of course, this means this is also more stuff I gotta report on after the conference ends, but it's gonna take a while for the thing to go up on YouTube anyway, so. And I got a message. Oh boy. I just got messaged by Tails channel about stuff. So I gotta admit, it's really nice to see Sega actually show up in a conference in some way. Even if it's just to show off a trailer. But again, it makes me wonder just what would have happened if Sega really did show up at E3, like, with a booth, you know? What would happen if they actually had a booth there? Because they obviously have a lot of games there. They could have shown up, there could have been like 2, 3, maybe even 4 games they could have had in the lineup, minimum. And they just didn't have them there. Like, they just weren't there. They just weren't there. Really? It's been going for 15 years? Really? Huh. What is that sound? Hang on. What am I getting? Oh, I'm getting called. Okay, what is it that I was getting? Why now? Why now? Come on. Everything, like, almost every conference has just had this problem where something happens. Okay, give me a second. I got messaged again. Huh. The Warhammer game everyone's been waiting for. I didn't know people were waiting for something like this. I mean, beats me. Oh? Oh no. This guy's quite aware that Microsoft is pouring the hell out of Windows 10, and that's the only reason they're probably here. Just saying. Didn't Microsoft have their conference too? Again? Like, why? Yep, just as I thought, they're whoring out Windows 10 some more. Yeah, what this person said. Time is so precious during E3. It's expensive. No one has enough. We're going minutes and minutes without any information or news here, and it's true. It's true. I mean, they're really, other than Total War, we really haven't heard anything new. Like, there really hasn't been much in the way of news. I mean, as much as I hate to admit it, there's really no point. I mean, the thing for me is, like, how can you go for 30 minutes and not really have nothing more than one game to really talk about? Phil, you're quite aware that most of the money made on PC is not from Windows, it's from Steam, right? But apparently Killer Instinct is coming to PC, which is kind of shocking. So Fable, Legends, and Gigantic, weren't these two in Microsoft's conference too? Yeah, I recall them talking about Fable like earlier, didn't they? Fable Legends was also a game that I believe we saw at another conference. I think it was either I'm trying to remember if it was, I know we saw this game before. I can't remember which conference it was, though. I know we saw it before. Trying to think about what it was. Damn, I can't remember what. Wasn't it like. I think it was. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was Microsoft that showed it off, right? We've already seen this game. Again, another game we've already seen in another conference. I'm absolutely shocked just how little exclusives, like how few exclusives Microsoft actually has. Like, it baffles me. Like, Microsoft has absolutely next to nothing in terms of exclusives. Like, everything is on, like, another console, or it's on PC, or it's on all of them. All of the above. Gigantic, another game that actually showed up in Microsoft's conference. I do believe. Yeah, it was like everything. Everything. Like just about 2/3 of what we've seen so far has already been shown at a previous conference. This is getting ridiculous now. Like, all this wasted time that could have been shown, either just having something else shown off, or just not having that time at all. Like, there was absolutely no point for this. Apparently Fable Legends will be free to play, which is something I kind of expected and kind of didn't expect. Beats me. But, yeah. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Fable Legends didn't have microtransactions. Any free-to-play game has that. Pretty much. No, Half-Life 3 is not confirmed. It's never going to be confirmed. Like, if we were going to get a Half-Life 3, we would have gotten it by now. I mean, at least with Shenmue 3, even though it took like a good 15 years, made sense, I think. With Half-Life 3, though, it's pretty damn obvious that they're not working on it, because if they were, we'd know by now. And not only would we know by now, but with how much the game would have been, like how much people have been just constantly requesting this game and making a joke out of it and all, they would have made it. No doubt in my mind. It's very, very meme status compared to Shenmue 3. So, yeah. Yeah, I expected. No, that Half-Life 3 thing isn't real. Of course it isn't. You really expected stuff to be real? Did you really? Gears of War Ultimate Edition is coming to PC, so another game that Microsoft has shown in their conference. Not only that, but also, guess what? It's another non-Xbox One exclusive. Like, really, I don't understand this. Like, I understand Microsoft is with Windows. But there's more than just Windows, guys. There's Steam. Hell, there's Origin. There's more than just Windows and Microsoft here. Like, I don't understand the many Microsoft conference games showing up in this one. Like, there's been nothing new. Nothing new. Like, I'm downright shocked at how, after 40 minutes, there's been nothing new. With only the exception of Total War. That was the only thing we had not really seen, as far as I can recall. Everything else has been in a previous conference in some way. Or they got very, very technical. That bit about the video card was... The AMD card was rather something I don't think I've seen just right. You know, just before, as I was... My brain was getting mushy and processing a thought, and also reading that Destructoid tweet, so... But yeah, just, like, the more things pass, the less Microsoft's conference gets in quality, and it's just... They're just getting, like, their conference just gradually gets worse and worse the more time progresses this week. Like, if we had just had Microsoft's conference, you know, it would have been okay. But then, you know, as time passed, like, every game that Microsoft had at their conference has showed up in other conferences, and then they became more and more non-exclusives became a thing. Like the whole, like what someone just said on Twitter just now, the whole Xbox One exclusive, that line pretty much doesn't even exist anymore. Like, it was pretty much a lie for a lot of these games. What is this? SCS software, Euro Truck Simulator. Okay. What is happening? So now we finally get a new game. Finally something new. American Truck Simulator. So I don't think we might have actually heard about this game before, but I don't think we've actually, like, seen it in action yet. Either way, this is brand new material they're showing. Finally! It only took nearly an hour for them to do so. PC One, like, they're just like PC One American Truck Simulator. Brilliant. PC One American Truck Simulator. Go figure. Sounds like Gears 4 will come to PC in the future. Oh jeez. Even less Xbox One exclusives. Meanwhile, I just got messaged again. And just Matt confirming something to me, that's all. Sort of. Just saying alright anyway. Eve Valkyrie. Isn't that also like... Like, wasn't that also in a conference before? I swear I think it was in Microsoft's conference too. So now we're getting to the VR segment. cursing is glorious. It's really glorious. Nintendo's the only one that hasn't cursed. But yeah, this like, oh my god, again, really? What now? I love it when weather programs spam messages at you. It's wonderful, isn't it? There we go. Alright, that's sorted out. Right, so like I was saying, it was only a matter of time before VR probably was going to show up at some point in this, because VR is going to be with the PC as well, and that's where I heard it from. Oculus's conference. That was one of the Oculus games that was showing off in their conference. So even Oculus's conference has now has had filler. Like, I forgot about their conference, and even then, now they have had a game show up in other conferences too. Like, absolutely ridiculous. People, by the way, are still believing that Half-Life 3 rumor, which is rather odd, but I'm not going to believe anything Half-Life 3 unless it came straight from Valve, on their website, on my Steam program, whatever. You know, on Steam, whatever, actual Steam. Like, not some random picture that shows up on Twitter. That's the only way I'd even remotely see it as Half-Life 3 confirmed, because... And then a trailer too, you know. An actual, real trailer. But for now, definitely not... Yeah, definitely not a, not a thing. That's twice now I bumped my mic. I'm a pro at this, apparently. Actually, wasn't that an earlier thing too? Like, people were talking about this, like, this website, the supposed website from Valve that quote unquote had Half-Life 3 confirmations and all, and then it turned out that wasn't actually the case. People are still believing that. So, I guess while they're talking about VR, again, for like the third time so far in the past week or so, one thing I can talk about is what's going to happen now. For me, anyway, what you guys will likely be seeing in the coming week or so, now that E3 is pretty much done with conferences, and what's coming up next. So tomorrow I need to record something for the song show that's E3 related. I'm not going to really say it just yet because I don't know, I don't know exactly how it's going to go or anything like that. All I know is that something E3 related will be recorded with the Sonic show tomorrow that I'll be taking part in. And then the next day, on Thursday, at around noon, me and the Brain Scratch crew, and I do believe Nathan as well, are supposed to be getting back together for our post-E3 discussion video. So we're going to be doing that. They're talking about Daisy. Why are they talking about Daisy again? Why? Why are we hearing Daisy again? No one wants to hear anything about this. And this is another game that Microsoft talked about in their conference. Is this supposed to be a PC gaming show or a Microsoft gaming show? Because this is basically what it is. Like, uh, this conference has just become more and more Microsoft gaming show instead of PC gaming show. But like I was saying, there is, you know, I'm supposed to be doing a commentary for Brain Scratch Comms on Thursday around noon. We're going to be recording it and all. Um, and I'm also going to be recording on Wednesday, and I intend to record my own post E3, impressions on every conference, because I know, I should warn you guys right now, we're probably not going to talk a lot about, we're probably going to talk about maybe the main conferences, including maybe a bit about Bethesda and all, but we're probably not going to talk about the PC gaming show, or might talk a bit about Square Enix, but for the most part, pretty much. But for the post E3 video I'm going to be doing and recording, I'm just going to be sitting down and just probably going for a good bit, just talking about every conference, give my overall thoughts on every conference, and my overall thoughts about E3, because, like I said, tomorrow, E3 is pretty much done. All that's left are the occasional demos we might get, from various websites and all, still, as we start, focusing primarily on demos and all. And maybe any small tidbits, but I don't expect all that. But it definitely seems to me like after the conferences are done, usually day 2, the E3 Expo doors being open, is usually when things really do calm down. There's really nothing new. Like, at this point, after this conference ends, usually E3 starts coming to an end for people at home that are watching E3 at home and experiencing it that way. But I will be talking about every conference, going through them all, basically giving my overall thoughts about how the conference has been, and basically, if you really want a concrete video that gives where I actually do talk about how I felt all the conferences done, I'll probably give a grade and all, I'll be going there. That's your one-stop video there. Though all 3 projects are going to be recorded in the next, day or two. And that will be pretty much my post E3 content. Other than that, going to be focusing on what is it? TSSC articles. Probably going to be doing another day or 2 of those, and then finally after that, things come to an end, and that'll be it. Everything comes to an end and normality returns. Thank God, because this week has been insane, as I expected. But I will be honest, I'll probably miss E3 a bit. E3 is always fun, despite the stupidity you might get in some conferences and repetitiveness that you might get in some conferences. Overall, E3 is worth it. I mean, the good outweighs the bad, for sure. But I will be honest, I'm going to be kind of glad. I'll be kind of glad to see E3 go, because one thing that I have taken notice of about this E3 is that the many, many conferences that we've had gets kind of awkward. Like, there's been a good 8 conferences this year related to E3, including Oculus's pre-E3 conference, and not even counting the Smash Direct that was on Sunday, or the Nintendo World Championship. Like, there was so much stuff. Like there was so much stuff that I couldn't even keep track. And by the time I think Nintendo did their conference, I was like, I kind of wish this was the last one, but unfortunately it wasn't. And I do feel like it kind of got rather... I do feel like it kind of got rather awkward, you know? Like, it kind of... Not really repetitive, but it was like... Yeah. Not really worth it, you know? Not really worth all these conferences, especially with how much... Like, how much these games have been showing in multiple conferences, just rendering probably half of them useless. Like, the Bethesda conference was not worth it. The Square Enix conference was definitely not worth it. Out of everyone, the Square Enix conference was definitely not worth it. The Oculus conference was not really worth it either, for the most part. You know, and the PC Gaming Show, honestly, is quickly becoming another one that really wasn't worth it. So... yeah. So they're doing their first live demo on stage, and the show is halfway done. It's taken them an hour to actually show a demo, like a live demo. And apparently it's people from Pixel Titans. So curious about how this is. Did I just hear Sepdog? Did I just? Okay. Strafe? It's interesting the way they're demoing this too. It's not often, like usually you'll see someone standing there with a controller in their hands playing the game on PC, but in this case, they're actually showing it off with a keyboard and mouse, which is something I don't think I've ever seen before in E3, at least not in conferences anyway. So this is nice to see. And I'm pretty sure Strafe was not in any previous conferences either. So it's intriguing. I guess while they're doing this demo, I may as well talk about another little thing. Something that I'm keeping up to date on as time passes. Like, something in particular that I've been keeping my eyes peeled on is Terraria 1.3. There's a new update for Terraria coming out in just 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now. And I'm really excited for it because it's going to add some cool kick-ass content into it. Unfortunately, it's still quite a while away, but like I said, 2 weeks away, so... However, I'm thinking about doing a stream. I know you guys may still be tired of Terraria, and I can't blame you because I still have I had that 200 episode Terraria playthrough. But fortunately, I'm pretty certain that this is going to be the last bit that I'm going to do for the Terraria playthrough, and then finally move on from it because, as I said, there really isn't anything else to show off in Terraria after that. Like, they did say they're going to do more updates, but probably not going to be as... The big updates like this are probably not going to happen anymore. I'd be shocked. But with the Steam Summer Sale having pretty much, been a thing, I did get a lot of games, and I can't wait to play them. I can't wait to start playing these games with you guys. I mean, Plague Inc. Evolved is still ongoing, and so is, Sonic CD as you guys are seeing this. I'm really happy to see that people seem to be enjoying it for the most part, despite the occasional hiccups in quality. And I do hope you guys are looking forward to it, I do hope you guys are looking forward to those 2 LPs returning on Monday. I know this was out of the norm to just take this week off, for E3 and all, but After that post E3 video goes up on Saturday, it's back to normality on the channel, and you guys are going to be able to see new content show up again. So, I hope you guys are excited about that. I've recorded already well over a month in advance, so, yeah. Oh no. No. No, don't tell me they're talking about Fallout again. No. No, no. Please don't talk about Fallout again. Okay, I was about to say, don't talk about Fallout 4 again. I'm tired of Fallout 4. Tired of it. Nothing against the game, just sick of hearing about it. But, this is actually a new game. A brand new game. Pillars of Eternity, The White March. Okay, then. Definitely not something I've heard before, so... There we go. So, Pillars of Eternity, The White March looks intriguing. I mean, doesn't look bad at all. Oh, it's an expansion, not, So, I'm guessing Pillars of Eternity is the actual name of the game. Right? I don't know. Either way, it's an expansion. Like, I don't like how expansions are getting announced. Like, just not something new. I mean, you say, well, this expansion is kind of new. Not really. How long has this game even been out? Like a year or two at the minimum? Like, I really don't want to hear the games like this showing up again, even after they've been released, you know? Just if you're gonna announce an expansion, just don't do it at E3, like, or at the very least, don't do it in a conference, because it's just not worth it. Like, it's just wasting time. Again, it's filler. Not as much filler as, you know, games showing up that are, you know, games showing up that were in other conferences, mind you, but mere expansions, like these small little expansions to a game, isn't really worth this giant interview and everything. It's not worth it at all. Oh boy. Just having conversations. They're not really telling me about anything important, by the way. I'm not really... At least not... Like, not really... of much interest to me. Like, I'm doing, the behind-the-scenes stuff is strong here. How do you join yourself? A lot of material? Not really. At least not a lot of new material, anyway. It should be noted, though, it is more than an hour done. Like, there's only 50 minutes left in this, I'd say. Around that. His mic was brilliant there. His mic kinda got screwy there. This is what it looks like. It's a game. Don't you love games? Well, I love games. This is a game. We made it. It's a pretty one. But no, but well, to be fair, but seriously though, this is actually looking pretty. Like this, the game does look pretty in this, but to be fair, this may not actually be a gameplay trailer. This might just be CG. I can't even tell half the time whether it's a gameplay or trailer or CG trailer anymore. Like, it's stupid. What? Why did he get picked up by a giant mascot dinosaur that just jogged away? What was that? That was a thing. But yeah, Planet Coaster is the name of it, and it's coming to PC 2016. Okay. Well then. Another expansion. Like, none of this stuff has been interesting so far. At least I can be happy about the fact that despite how awkward this conference is and kind of meh, at least the conference, or not the conference, but the Tweetdeck has been relatively nice. It only screwed up very temporarily, but look at how well it's running now. Like, I haven't had to do anything with it. I haven't had to refresh it once, except that at the very beginning. And that was it. Like, I haven't had to do it since. It's just a sign that things are finally calming down and getting back to normality, and it's a sign that things are, that we've reached that peak and it's finally we're descending back down again. So I want to read that tweet just now that popped up. Hang on. Oh. It's not what I thought it would be. Not what I thought it was going to be. Eh. Look at that, I was actually able to refresh Tweetdeck the way you can normally refresh it, by scrolling down a bit, and then clicking on the bar at the top that displays the thing, and that's it. But yeah, I think at this point you guys are probably well aware of what the 4 columns are, but just in case you aren't, I'll detail them one more time. Last time anyway. So we have over here on the very left, E3 Space Conference, that's a search term. Then there's another search term to the right here, the one right here that's been all active and stuff. E3 2015, no space at all, but another search term. Then to the right of that is the list that's been really great list. I'm very happy about how it turned out to be. A list of developers, media journalists, E3 organizers, and the official E3 accounts and all. This list has been really great this past E3, and I'm really glad, you know. This E3 really did come in handy with this list, and I'm really glad I was able to put it together. It's been really helpful. But then to the right of that is the only, like, the hashtag representation, I guess, for this. Twitch's hashtag that they've been using all day yesterday and all day today. Hashtag E3 Live. No space, of course, because hashtag, but there you go. That is all 4 TweetDecks, TweetDeck feeds. Last time we're going to be seeing them in this coverage, so, you know, in all this content for the week, so hope you guys will be, you know, I hope you guys see the potential in these 4 columns, and by all means, you know, use them if you want to. They're, you know, they're all public, and they're all, you know, pretty damn beneficial. Just to clarify, if you're wondering what these filters are that I have listed, it's just to make it so there are no, like, languages, it's well, not really no languages, but more like to filter it so it's more, a little bit more kid-friendly, so to speak. Like, nothing, you know, adult in terms of, like, nudity or sexual content or anything like that. Because I learned that the hard way. Oh, boy. I learned that the hard way. I find it interesting, though, that they're still talking about this game, by the way. Now, hopefully I don't actually jinx myself with the thing about the content, because otherwise that will cause some issues. Definitely cause some issues. But I'm not counting on it. Everything's been relatively good, so... Pre-sales? Okay, so you mean pre-ordering. Soon people are going to be able to pre-order the game. Okay. Oh no. Oh, Hitman again. Hitman again. The third damn conference in a row. Well, no, not in a row. Nintendo was in there, but first Sony, then Square Enix, and now the PC Gaming Show. Now we get freaking Hitman again. How much more of this damn game is going to show up? This is getting borderline Fallout 4 now. Like, this is getting just as bad as Fallout 4. Like, these two games are just showing up all over the place in every conference, and it's not anything new. It's like a billion trailers for this one game that isn't necessary, and it's just all this information that shouldn't be done in conferences. It should be saved up for one single conference. Like, why is Hitman up again for the third time now? This game officially broke the record for the most times a game has showed up in conferences this year in E3. Look, we've seen enough of this game, guys. There's nothing else to talk about. I understand promoting your game, but there's a point where where it has the opposite effect. Where people just don't want to hear about this game anymore. Because it's just, we hear it too much. When people, also their mics are really screwing up. Like, wow. Oh my god. I will be honest though, they probably have been the best with humor, you know, on stage. Like, I say on stage because of course Nintendo probably did the best with making me laugh and all. If they're, why they're doing this commentary, like comedy stuff, beats me, but hey, it lightens things up, so whatever. Um, but I will admit, despite the horrible content so far, like this E3 conference has had, the PC gaming show, has had, to be fair, I will be honest, the comedy hasn't been that bad. I mean, I haven't laughed really, but it's not making me cringe. That's the thing. Like, I can deal with comedy if it's not cringeworthy. Like, that's fine with me. I'm all for comedy. It just don't make it cringeworthy. I don't like cringe humor. I just, I do that myself, I don't want to actually hear my own humor. So. But I'll be honest, them goofing around, saying, hold me and hugging me and all that, when the mic was screwing up, that had to be the best moment of this conference. And to be honest, it's the only good moment of this conference. I mean, even though despite the fact that Total War showed up, and being the guy that I am that pays especially attention to Sega games and Sega related titles because of what I do, with TSC, yeah. For this moment alone, PC Conference wins E3. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I mean, it was funny, but I can tell you right now, the feels were a lot greater in Sony's conference. People were really reacting strongly in that one. I'd say that moment meant a lot more to people than this little goofing around because of technical difficulties, but eh. To be fair though, I think this is like, other than the Uncharted 4 stuff that happened in Sony's conference, I think this was really the only technical difficulties we've seen. I think these are the only technical difficulties we've really seen at E3 this year, other than Sony's bit with the trailer at the end, which honestly no one remembers now because of all their announcements earlier on. So oh boy. So, more AMD promoting. Honestly, I expected more than this. I honestly expected more than this. But I'm going to say this right now. We're now an hour and a half done. The PC gaming show is now an hour and a half done, and there's still, like, there's still no sign of it ending. There's probably, for bar minimum, 30 more minutes. They said it would go for at least 2 hours, so yeah. That one tweet I just saw just now. So they're getting more technical again. Once again, yeah. Once again, there's more hardware talk, more technical stuff. Something that again we haven't really seen from any of the other conferences this year, because there hasn't really been much in the way of hardware. I mean, to be fair, there was the Oculus conference and they did talk about VR to a degree, but the thing is, they didn't really get that big about the well, no, they did talk quite a bit about the hardware. I'd say that the PC gaming show is quickly. Like, beats me. Oh my god, again? Really? We get it, it's Hitman coming up. Stop talking about it. He had his time with this damn game. What is inside that briefcase? So it's a 16 teraflop gaming system? Okay. Okay. Well, at least the situation with the briefcase is no longer a problem. I should note, gaming wise, this still really hasn't been offering anything. Like, okay. So, this GPU card was actually in that giant briefcase. Okay. Well, at least he gets to keep the case, even if he doesn't have anything in it. Wasn't Bohemia on just... So wait, Bohemia are coming back on again? They had their time. Why are they back again? Another expansion. So, yet another expansion. So we've pretty much had only 2 new titles this entire thing. Just 2 entirely new games. Everything else has just been ports. You know, like, everything else has just been expansion of games that have been already out. Games that have been seen in like a million conferences. And talking about AMD stuff. That's pretty much all that's been seen. There's been only one exception, like I said, that was Total War. We have not really seen that in action yet, so yeah. No, I said Bohemia Interactive was taking the stage again because I saw their logo show up earlier, so I figured they were on stage again already. But they had already been on stage, but Can you want to see her? Alright, we got it done. That hot mic, yeah. Their mics are just on point today, aren't they? Like, their mics are just on point. So I guess while we're hearing about more expansions and stuff, I guess I may as well tease another little announcement, since this video has basically become just as much of just teasing the future, what's going to be on my channel in the next month or so. Just as much as it's been the live commentary of this gaming show thing. But I guess I should go ahead and clarify that. So guys, I can confirm that I am now more than almost, I think, a full month now ahead of schedule from the recording binge I had been doing before E3 was to begin. And I'm going to start getting back to probably another recording binge to finish off what I started, because I didn't really... Like, I honestly didn't really count on getting this many weeks. Like, I ended up planning on only going for being 3 weeks in advance, but then I ended up getting a 4th week, and then I think a 5th week or so, around that. So I haven't really recorded anything in, I think, 1 week as a result, which isn't something that I usually do. And I was actually tempted to record more gameplay and stuff, but I haven't really had the chance. But I do plan on recording more after E3 is done and all, and I'm able to ease back. But I can provide a teaser to what happens coming up. Eventually Sonic CD is going to be done. I've already finished recording Sonic CD. That LP is fully recorded in its entirety, ready to go on YouTube each day. However, what I'm not going to say just yet, just going to tease for now, is the game that's going to be following it. And it's not going to be a Sonic game, for one reason alone, and that's because of the time of year. Now, if you guys remember what I usually do around this time of the year, every time, like every year, around this time, you know, this period, this season and all, I usually do something. I usually play this game because of how fitting it is. That's all I'm going to say. But for those who, you know, for those who are curious, you know, it's something that's returning this year. I'm doing another LP of it, so it's LP run of it. And oh boy, did it go, oh boy. It was interesting. Very, very interesting. But that run will start after Sonic CD concludes. As I said, both regular LPs return to normal, and then we'll be back to daily episodes starting on Monday. It's back to normality, so pretty soon, yeah. Also, I don't know what this Beyond Eyes. Wait, that's another freaking game that showed up in Microsoft's conference. Another one. Every game that they've shown off. Just, they keep ruining Microsoft's conference more and more like this. They may as well have not had any, like, the rate this is going, Microsoft conference is becoming quite pointless as well. Because every game Microsoft showed off has been in this conference here. It's ridiculous. They didn't even show anything. They didn't. I think they showed the exact same trailer again too. Jeez, this PC Gaming Show has just been so pointless and just nothing new at all. Like, just, they would have been, like, honestly, if they had just went for 30 minutes or so, like 45 minutes or so, that would have been it, and they would have had all that new stuff they could have showed off, that they did in fact have, that very little bit of it, but still better than nothing. Could have just had that for 30 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes, and that would have done it. That would have been it. It doesn't need, like, it's still going an hour and almost over an hour and a half later, almost 2 hours now, and they had nothing new in it for, I think, an hour, other than the two times they talked about AMD stuff, you know, and then there was Total War. There were the two, you know, new games they did show up, but that was it. That was it. Nothing new. A good hour and a half, no, I think an hour and a half so far has been of absolutely nothing. Nothing special at all. Nothing of note, nothing worth even talking about. Like, it's disappointing. It's a letdown, because they had a huge potential with this. Like, with how much of a library PC games have right now. So many games coming up. So many games that are about to release. And just all these new games they could have showed off. Or new games they could have announced. None of this happens. Instead, they just whore out Microsoft more. You know, and it's unfortunate. Like, it is perhaps an even more wasted opportunity than Nintendo's was. If not more than, probably the same skill as Nintendo's was. Which is very unfortunate, because like I said, the PC Gaming Show had a lot of opportunity. But, go figure. Dirty Bomb? Dirty Bomb? I've never really... Have I heard of this before? I'm not sure. Is Dirty Bomb another game that we, like... I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Oh boy. So is Dirty Bomb like is this game already out or something? Like I'm confused. I don't know if this is even... I don't know if this is a new game or not. I honestly don't know. I've never heard of this game before. Like, the more I think about it, the more I have not heard of this before. And to be fair, I haven't heard of games before that... Like, there have been games that I haven't heard before that were already out, so... Just because I haven't heard a game before doesn't mean that it's automatically new or anything. Just means I've been probably living under a rock or something just as much. So, I mean, I don't know. So, wait, what was that, new trailer for... Yeah, so it is a game we've already heard about before. It's just, I don't think it was a, I don't think it was a new game. I mean, to be fair, this talk show environment they've been doing with this press conference is actually kind of a. I will admit, it's not really that bad. I'm kind of used to it now. I'm kind of used to it now. It's kind of a nice, homely, laid-back way to, finish the conferences on a good, calm note. After everything we've been seeing for the last day and a half, so. Tacoma? Is that another game that I haven't heard of before? Yeah, it was. So Tacoma again, and it was shown yesterday. Let me see what it looks like. I may have missed, like... Was this shown off during, Was this shown off during a conference too? I can't recall. Yeah, Dirty Bomb seemed a bit like a less cartoony TF2 kind of game. Seemed like it anyway. And it was even free to play too, from the sounds of it. Wait, I wanted to read that tweet that just popped up just now. He says, no, actually Tacoma was revealed a fair while ago. Really? Okay, where is that tweet I just saw? I already lost it. Oh no, they did show it off yesterday too. Where is this? There it is. Okay. Nothing that much of note. Oop. Tweetdeck almost threw a fit there. Almost. All good to go though. I swear I think Tacoma was shown off in another conference. I honestly don't know. I feel like Tacoma was in another conference. It was shown off yesterday, obviously, but not sure where. Oh no. More amnesia. Amnesia Soma. Was that already? That was certainly not in a previous conference. I know that beyond any shadow of a doubt. That was not in another conference. Oh, so it's not actually Amnesia Soma. It's just called Soma. Okay. So it's definitely... It's another horror game, but it's not an Amnesia game. It's just called Soma. So it's definitely something we haven't seen before. Definitely something we have not seen before. And it comes out on September 22nd, 2015. Huh. Interesting. Daisy again! You guys just talked about it earlier. Didn't you guys have developer from DayZ on just earlier? Again? Really again? Come on, people. Jeez, this... Like, really? More talking about stuff that was in Microsoft's conference. Yeah, they talked about DayZ about 3 times now. Oh, it was... So earlier it was the lead guy who moved on to something else. Now they're actually talking with the people who were working on... Or were still working on DayZ. Like, really, guys? Like... Really? This conference. When is it over with? Like, honestly, like it. At this point, it's just not even. It's just become absolutely pointless. Like at this point, this conference just needs to come to an end. Like it's dragged on long enough. Um, it's technically supposed to end any minute now. I mean, it's been about 2 hours now. And from what I recall, they had quite a few people online, quite a few people on stage. I do believe I read that there would be 28 people on stage, and I'd say there's been about that. About that. Around that, I think. Some are saying that it'll actually be 3 hours, but... Some people have actually said that the conference will be 3 hours long. I really hope not, but we'll see. 3 hours would be kind of ridiculous, but... Judging from what they had listed for the times and all that, they did not have it intended to be 3 hours, so... single player DayZ. Yeah, pretty much. So now we are 2 hours into the conference. And DayZ's finally entering beta. Oh, big whoop. It's been out for a year and a half now, guys. Just saying. It sounds like they're just speeding through everything now. They know they're behind, so. Bohemia again, really, guys? Again? Like this is ridiculous. Just how, like, similar developers are just repeatedly coming in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, why not have them in one segment? And that's it. Why are we just scattering them about? And just ruining the flow and stuff. It just... This conference has just been poor. Like, very poor. Just this presentation. Again, the presentation has just been ruining it. It's not so much the content, per se. But just the presentation of all these conferences have just been poor, and Sony's really the only one that has been any good. Like they've been the only one that had done well with presentation. And I'd say Nintendo did well with presentation, but they weren't exactly perfect, and that ending they had was awkward, and yeah, you know. But there has been very, very little that came from this conference. Like, and you could tell just how little. Like, if you've been watching the Tweetdeck this whole time when it's been displayed, Take on Mars. What? What? Boss Key Productions? Project Blue Streak? That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, but it doesn't really, like... Like, I really want to know how many more people are left in this conference, because it sounds to me like they're still not anywhere near close to being done. Which kind of surprises me. I mean, to be fair, they had the technical difficulties, which kind of dragged things out, but one can tell that they're not joking around, they're not really now it's really quickly becoming more of a press conference format, and it's not really, the comedy's definitely toned down quite a bit. Now they're just going with the flow, not really, like, they're going with the flow, not really goofing around, not really taking a sweet old time. It sounds like they're rushing through it. Like, it sounds to me like they're rushing through it, not really playing around anymore. And I think that it's mainly because they know, okay, we're running behind schedule. Let's get this wrapped up. So the thing for me is, like, how much longer will this wrapping up take? Like, how much longer do they have it in store? I'm not sure. All I know is that they've been going for 2 hours now. Technically, this is where they were supposed to stop. Like, this was the conference was supposed to be only 2 hours long, and now it's been 2 hours. So, yeah. I mean, judging by the game, it's not... I mean, judging by the game they're showing off, it doesn't seem that huge. I don't think. I think. Huh. Well then. They're still going on about this game. Like, for some reason, they're still going on about this game. Like, I guess that's another reason why they were trying to speed things up, is because I guess some of the demos they have, or some of the interviews they have, are just going to go for a good while still. I don't know, so. But, we'll see. I mean, I don't really know exactly. Like I said, said they had 28 guests lined up, like people on that would be on stage, and I'm trying to remember how many they've had. I want to say they're close. I mean, they've already had 2 hours of content and guests. Beats me. So, but I will be honest. I think it looks like a lot of people, looks like a lot of people on Twitter, and I can't blame them. Judging by what a lot of people on Twitter are saying right now, and I can't really blame them for this, I think a lot of people are starting to get kind of tired of the conference, because it's definitely dragged out. Like, I don't think people really wanted this to go for this long. But we'll see. We'll see, I mean, when this thing ends, but they finally ended this demo, so I mean, at least there's gonna be another, like, well, no, it wasn't really a demo, it was just an interview. That was it, just an interview. Oh? Enter the gun. That's... Is that a game? I don't know of this game. Was this, like... Was this another game that was previously released? Like, at this point, I don't even know anymore. Like every other game has been something from a previous conference. So, I mean, at this point, there's really no saying for sure. But, it looks like it was demoed. It looks like it was demoed on a stream, but not in a conference. Looks like it. Yeah, this was definitely shown off in. It was shown off as a demo earlier today. It was shown off as a demo from earlier today, but it wasn't actually in a conference. So that's where I. That's why I feel like I've seen this before. So, Enter the Gungeon. That's what it's called. What is it about road games that are always very, 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 very hard? Like, it's not even so much the luck base, the luck kind of thing that road games tend to have. It's almost always how they make the enemies that you do come across always... It's always bullet hell. Like, I don't understand why this is a trend in road games. It's basically Toho meets Binding of Isaac, essentially. What someone just said just now. Like, and it's like I said, why is there always bullet hell in every single rogue game? Like, why is this a thing? I like how he just showed off how they're just full of shit with this demo. That was quite hilarious. God mode has been enabled, and you know no one else is going to be able to use that. Just saying, no one else. God mode is never enabled in any games. It's never a bonus feature or like a cheat. You might be able to cheat code or something you can activate. Nope. They never ever ever let that be a bonus feature. Like, only people get God mode in some way or in demos. That's it. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I will be honest, this is actually an interesting game to me. I do play rogue games a lot. It's just a main complaint I have is that they're always bullet hell for some reason. But StarCraft. Blizzard Entertainment. So finally, Blizzard Entertainment is here. They're still going. So it's a game that's already out. Okay. And apparently No Man's Sky is going to be on the PC Gaming Live show, judging by a tweet that just popped up. Yep, more games that showed up in previous conferences. And this one actually and this one affects Sony's this time, potentially. But, yeah. Yeah, people are getting legitimately tired of the show still going. Like, this show is dragging on. And I saw someone else say, like, it's PC, of course it would drag on for a long time. Well, here's the thing, though. Nothing has been shown. Again, this goes back to my original point. Nothing new has been shown. There was really no point in this being this long. None. This conference did not need to be 2.5 hours. Pretty silly, really. That rhyming. But what do you expect from me, okay? It's been a long E3. This is the last conference. I just want it done and over with. I apologize if I've been negative through this whole thing, but really, it's just, yeah. Ugh. Blizz Heroes? That's the game that they're talking about here? Huh. So it's more expansions. Lovely. It's just the same stuff. Like, it's stupid. It's unfortunate that that conferences like this drag on. Like, usually, you know, it's no big deal, and you could be like, maybe some may be like, well, if you like, if you're not really interested anymore, why not turn away and stop? It's like, well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You can't really not watch. Like, in my case, I kind of have to in case anything comes out of it. Like Total War, um, being a news reporter for, being in the Sega, Sonic and Sega community as I am, kind of have to keep my eyes peeled for Sega related news. So, unfortunately, as much as I would like to, can't. I'm kind of binded to it in a way. Still, nevertheless, the conference is definitely a thing. Just, oof, boy. Okay, I've already lost track of another tweet. Here it is. Tweets are just going by still. I mean, they may not be going by as much as they were earlier today. They're still going by relatively fast. Relatively fast. Oh boy. We may actually be, like... One thing I'm really curious about... One thing I'm curious about, though, is if it really is going to be going for 3 hours. We don't know. But it's starting to hint that way. To be quite honest, it's starting to hint that way. Ah, jeez. How are they still going on about this expansion? Like, really? Just a mere expansion, and they're still there. Like, they're still talking about it. Huh. Oh. May as well check to see what's going on here. Let's see here. $17 years ago? StarCraft So, what did they just confirm? Did they just confirm another StarCraft? No, they didn't. Did they? I wasn't paying attention. Oh. So they're finally actually showing something. Something. Took long enough, but I mean, they're showing something finally that isn't talking and talking and talking, but you know. Yes, the PC show is still going on. As much as I hate to admit it, it's still going on. But, yeah. Yep, the PC gaming show has gone on longer than Sony and Microsoft's conferences combined. Combined. And I still have articles to write after this is all done. Oh, jeez. Meanwhile, seems like, yeah. They're still going on about this game. Like, they're still going on about this game. Wait, no. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Like, how long has Blizzard been out on stage? Like, it's been, like, what, 10, 20 minutes now? Sheesh. Blizzard has been out on stage for almost a good fourth of this conference now. Like, for at least 20 or so minutes. Yeah, I hope they definitely use this as a valuable lesson. Don't go for more than 2 hours. It's not worth it. Remember when Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced? Great days those were, indeed. Like, you had Nintendo not really do that well. You know, be very underwhelming. You had Square Enix just be kind of crap, honestly. Oh my god. Final guest of the night. It's a miracle. But like I was saying, and then we had Square Enix just be, like, and it's of course the very last damn game, the last freaking game. Isn't anything new. It's nothing we haven't seen before. No, it's No Man's Sky again. Because this whole... Oh my god, this conference has been shit. This conference has just been absolute shit. There's no point for No Man's Sky being here. Like, no point at all. It just dropped the quality of Sony's conference down a little bit. Like, ugh. No Man's Sky coming to PC. So now Sony just lost an exclusive. Another exclusive Sony just lost. I like that tweet. Audience applauds when he says final guest. That's the most genuine audience joy I've seen since E3 2015 started. People are... The audience there right now watching the conference, like the audience out at the venue right now for the gaming show, are just as excited for the end of the show as everyone else is. Yeah, what this guy said just now as well. Leading with the fact you can't share news basically sums up this entire event. Indeed, nothing has come out of this. Nothing. Nothing has come out of this. No Man's Sky is coming out for PC on day one. That's it. Nothing else. I like how Sony just now tweeted our E3 press conference ended 24 hours ago. Here's a souvenir. Thanks for watching. See, this is what I don't understand. Like, people complained about Nintendo not having any third-party exclusives when Sony and Microsoft are having just exactly the same exact problem. All these games that were announced, that were shown off in their conferences, and the vast majority of them are not even going to be out as exclusives. But, yeah. And of course, this is going to drag out too. Guess this interview is going to drag out as well. Go figure. Wait, someone said we already knew it was coming to PC. So why are they pretending that we didn't know yet? So even that announcement was nothing really new. So even that wasn't exactly new. Go figure. 2.5 hours now. This conference has now been going for 2.5 hours. Not even kidding. And finally, their guest went off stage. 2.5 hour long conference. Oh, did... What a strange ending. But that's it. That's the PC Gaming Show, ladies and gentlemen. That was definitely... yeah. So anyway, guys, that's it. That's E3. Like, that's the live commentaries. And, that was definitely the longest conference I think I've ever seen. But anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed watching this, even though I was constantly being negative and stuff, but that's what happens when you do a conference. You know, they do a conference for 2.5 hours, and you're just not really seeing any news, and yeah. But anyway, guys, that's it. That's the live commentaries. I hope you guys enjoy these live commentaries. It's been intriguing doing these. I mean, but I'll be honest, I kind of miss doing the live streaming. I mean, I miss actually interacting with you guys live. So, I mean, maybe, who knows, next year I'll do live streams again. We'll see. Maybe I can get past the copyright stuff. I mean, if there is copyright stuff or whatever. I mean, it turns out there may not have been copyright issues at all. I don't know. All I know is that this was a long, long conference. I'm glad it's done. I'm glad the live commentaries are done. I hope you guys enjoyed all these commentaries, but for now, I will see you guys next time for the post E3 video. That'll go up on Saturday. But for now, this is signing out. Sayonara, guys.